38 points to the All Blacks, 21 points to the Stormers. A very good game of rugby, a very interesting game of rugby in Cape Town. I don't think any of us were expecting that at all. A very interesting game, a lot to talk about. But before we do get into it, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. There's going to be so much content, every single game covered, player ratings for every single game, match previews, match reactions. Everything's going to be happening now over the next few weeks for the Greatest Rivalry Series. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And what a way to start it. I mean, I really was not expecting the game to go the way it did, especially after the first few minutes of the game. I thought, well, the All Blacks are really going to dominate the Stormers today. That didn't happen at all. That really did not happen at all. It was a very weird game of rugby because at certain points throughout that game, the Stormers looked really in control of the game. They looked like they knew what they were doing. They looked like they were the better team at some parts throughout the game. A very good performance from the Stormers, and not the best performance from the All Blacks at all. It has to be said, not the best performance. There's definitely a lot to work on for the All Blacks, but there are certain things you have to take from both sides with a pinch of salt as well. For the Stormers, these guys playing one of the biggest games for some of these guys' lives. They're going to go out there and give absolutely everything. That being said, I think the style that the Stormers played is similar to a style that you can kind of expect to see from some of the Springboks players, maybe at some points throughout the game. I don't really know. I'm trying to think of exactly what happened, why the Stormers were actually getting a lot of really good go forward ball at some stages, and I just think they were just playing the basics, playing around the fringes, and just playing what was in front of them. And I think the All Blacks really thought they were going to go there to Cape Town and absolutely annihilate the Stormers. That being said, we still probably haven't seen the best from the All Blacks, playing against the Sharks on Tuesday, playing against the Bulls next weekend, and of course the midweek game against the Lions as well. I think there will be some bigger scores, but irrespective of the score, yes, the scoreboard says the All Blacks won this game comfortably. Irrespective of the score, it was a very close game of rugby. It was a very close game of rugby. There were some parts where it was sloppy, some parts where there was some brilliant rugby, and I thought both teams really showcased their brand of rugby very well. I mean, the All Blacks came firing out the gate. At certain parts throughout the game, they maybe weren't at their best. They allowed the Stormers to get back into it through kind of mistakes and their own mistakes as well. But the Stormers at some parts throughout that game really stepped it up. They took it to a different level and they really played some very good rugby, almost on par physically and intensely with the All Blacks. I mean, that was very interesting because I thought going into the game it's going to be one of those classic British and Irish Lions things where the club team just cannot keep up with the international team. But this wasn't that at all. I think until the last 10 or 12 minutes of the game, the Stormers really kept up with the All Blacks and sometimes even had dominance at stages as well. There were some very good performances, some weird performances as well. I mean, for me, looking at it from a neutral perspective, because for me, honestly, for this game, I'm a neutral. I am a South African fan, but I'm just looking at this game, seeing what is going on right now. I thought guys like Josh Morby were good for the All Blacks. I thought Rieko Ioane was very good today. Let me know down below in the comments if you saw the same thing, if you saw something different. But I thought Rieko Ioane played very well, played with a lot of confidence, did some very good things as well. I thought Bowden Barrett was decent. I thought Cortez Ratama was quite solid as well, especially with his fundamentals and his basics. And the forwards, there weren't really that many players that stood out for me from the All Blacks, it has to be said, especially in the starting lineup. I thought Asafo Mua came on and made a big impact. But if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I absolutely love Asafo Mua. I thought Peter Lakai was very good as well today. Then on the Stormer side, I thought Nedling Fischer was very good. I thought Andre Igefente had some very good moments in the game. I thought Andre Smith was decent. I thought Evan Ruiz was really solid today. Of course, a few knock-ons, a few mistakes, but still a very solid performance. Kind of showed his own and showed why he is a Springbok player right now. Hachiva Diamani was absolutely awesome. And just forget about the charge down kick. I mean, he was just trying to get out of the worst possible spot. It didn't go his way. But if you look at everything else he did in the game, he did some very good stuff. I thought Yakin Ahmed played brilliantly for such a young guy. The composure he has, the composed head he has on his shoulders is absolutely out of this world. He plays rugby in a very senior level way. I mean, his kicking for the line is very good. His contestable kicks were really good. He knows when to do the contestable kicks. He knows when to kind of slow the game down, knows when to speed the game up with that beautiful, incredible tap and go play with him, Andre Igefente, and I think it was Siabelo Sanatla. Talking about Siabelo Sanatla, he was absolutely everywhere today. Probably one of my man of the matches. I'm still going to have to think properly about who my man of the match matches. But don't worry, I will be doing a player ratings later. But I literally am doing this video right now as soon as the final whistle's gone, and I'm just thinking to myself, that was a really entertaining game of rugby. Yes, there were some periods where it wasn't the best game of rugby. The All Blacks made mistakes. The All Blacks did some very good things as well. The Stormers did some very good things. They made some silly mistakes, but overall, it was absolutely entertaining, and I don't think anybody really thought that, irrespective of the score, that the game itself was going to be so close. There was a few periods in that game where I honestly thought, are the Stormers actually going to win this right now? Are the Stormers really going to beat the All Blacks? But from start to finish, it was a really good spectacle. I mean, the anthems were awesome to see. The haka was absolutely awesome today. I mean, I'm saying awesome so much because I just think this Greatest Rivalry Series is going to be absolutely spectacular. And I thought that haka was brilliant. I thought the crowd reacted quite well to it as well. It wasn't as bad as you normally see it for some of the other games with how they react. And I thought the crowd was really good with the whole atmosphere tonight. A very good crowd as well. Would have liked to see a complete sellout crowd, but there was still a lot of people there. But let's get right into some of the stats of the game. We'll go over some of the best players in the game, but that's just what I saw. Probably from the Stormers, Siabelo Sanatla really stood out to me, and from the All Blacks, probably Peter Laka and Rieko Ioane. But I will be doing player ratings later on tonight, so stay tuned for that one. All Blacks fans, if you are awake now in New Zealand, well, good morning to you guys, and I will be doing player ratings. It will be probably early in the morning or just mid-morning for you guys. It will be in the evening here in the UK and for the South Africans as well. So it's just kind of pay attention to that one. Stay tuned for that one. But the All Blacks led for 44 minutes of the game. The Stormers led for 0 minutes of the game. The All Blacks scored early. The Stormers brought it back. The All Blacks scored. The Stormers brought it back. And then the All Blacks scored twice again. And the Stormers just could not pull it back. Some really good things happened today. First of all, Takiaho Moore try converted by Beauden Barrett. And by the way, Beauden Barrett looked really good off the tee today. Then 2 yellow cards in quick succession. Anton Brown and Parker there. Dion Free going over for the Stormers, converted by Yakin Ahmed. This guy is absolutely special. The way he can kick for the poles, he kicks like a proper test match level fly half. And I know him and Vusi Moyo are the same age. They play a different brand of rugby, but it's going to be very interesting to see how those two go up against each other in the future. And you know what? I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the Stormers actually play with Yakin Ahmed in their team. Will they play him at 10? Will they play him at 12? Will they move Sasha to fullback, Sasha to 12? They have a lot of thinking to do, because one thing I also realized, Yakin Ahmed can definitely hold his own physically. He's a very good defender, a very good tackler, a very physical player. He is ready for this senior level and maybe even international level for a kind of shock cap like Vusi Moyo. I think he is. Honestly, I do. Then after that, Parker scores in the 38th minute, converted by Beauden Barrett once again. In the 55th minute, a very well-worked try by the Stormers, scored under the poles by Siabelo Sanatla. His dive scared me a bit. I thought he was going to hurt himself there, but Siabelo Sanatla was absolutely brilliant today. That was one of the best games of rugby I've ever seen from him. He was everywhere. He was lining people up. He was just working off his line. And I think for me personally, he probably was the man of the match. But let me know down below if you guys saw it any differently. I thought he was a workhorse. He was absolutely everywhere. Converted by Yakin Ahmed, and then Rieko Ioane with a try. I thought he played well today. Barrett with the conversion, then Carter with the try, and J. Combe with the conversion. Morby with the try in the 75th minute. By the way, that scoop pickup from Josh Morby after the charge down to Hachiva Diamani was brilliant. That was one of the best pickups I've seen in a long time. And it didn't look special because he made it look so easy, but what he did there was extremely difficult. So that was a really cool pickup to see. And I think Josh Morby is one of those players, expect to see a lot more of him in an All Blacks jersey. He just cuts through teams like a hot knife through butter. The way he plays, his skill set, he's very unorthodox the way he plays. And I think it's very difficult for other teams to defend that. So keep an eye on Josh Morby. Penalty try for the Stormers. Morby with a yellow card, but still a very good player. And of course, in the 80th minute, Asafu Amua. I mean, Asafu Amua is one of those special players, in my opinion. Dominates everyone physically. He just needs to get more game time. He just needs to get his hand on the ball more often, because he is such a special player in the All Blacks ranks. And I think he, honestly, in my opinion, I've said it many times before, if he was to play a full season in the starting lineup without any injuries and really play his best, I truly believe he can be one of those guys nominated for World Player of the Year. He is that special. But let's look at some of the stats here, some of the team stats. So 22 meter entries, the amount of entries the teams made to the opposition 22. The All Blacks averaged 4.1 points scored per entry to the Stormers 22 and entered their 22 8 times. That is very clinical from the All Blacks there. I have to say, they probably didn't enter the Stormers Stormers 22 as much as I thought they would. I thought they would be there the whole day. I thought it would be, after the first 5 minutes, I really thought the Stormers would be chasing the game. It's going to be a big scoreline, but no, the Stormers really clawed back and fought back well. The Stormers with 9 entries to the All Blacks 22, so they beat the All Blacks there, but average points scored 2.3. But still, even at international level, anything above 2, anything above 2.2 there is really good. So the Stormers played a very good game today, and I think the one thing that the All Blacks can take from this game is that they would have learned a lot about themselves as a team, and they would have actually been tested. I think a lot of people were probably scared that the All Blacks weren't going to get tested at all, that they're going to go and play against the club teams and absolutely wipe the floor with them. That's not the case. Some of these players that played today will be a lot more battle hardened after this game, so the Stormers definitely did the All Blacks a favor today. Looking at some of the other things, 140 carries for the All Blacks, 95 for the Stormers, which feels weird to me because I thought the Stormers had the ball so many times in that game. But of course, the All Blacks, quick little passes, quick breakdown speed, a lot of carries as well. 16 kicks for the Stormers, 15 kicks for the All Blacks. And I will say the Stormers kicking game was actually quite good tonight, except for the charge down. And that is down to Yakin Ahmed there. Of course, Imad Khan did go off injured early, and that was a big loss for the Stormers. Hopefully he can recover soon. But once someone gets an injury like that without any contact involved, it normally isn't the best thing, but I really hope for the best for him because he's a very good player. I do rate him extremely highly. Post-contact meters, 409 post-contact meters for the All Blacks. That's just what they do. Those guys just cut through teams like, I don't even know what. They just cut through teams like a hot knife through butter. I'll say that again because they do. They really are difficult to bring down, those guys. The way they open up gaps, the way they kind of use their hands, the offloading ability, the fending ability. Like we saw Cortez Ratimer completely handing off Andre Guventa, and that's just what you expect from the All Blacks. They're very quick. The way they play is very witty as well. So they always get those post-contact meters, and they're a very tough team as well. Very physical team. 244 post-contact meters for the Stormers, which isn't bad, to be honest. I think allowing 409 post-contact meters is a bit unacceptable, but getting 244 themselves is a testament to how well they played today and how well they pitched up. Looking at some of the defensive profiles here, 4 dominant tackles for the Stormers, 3 dominant tackles for the All Blacks, and those dominant tackles were all very big. 148 tackles made for the Stormers, 123 for the All Blacks. Tackles missed, 29 for the Stormers, 20 for the All Blacks. And right now, all these stats kind of look a lot like a normal international game where there's a clear winner, but it was close until the end. So some of these stats are not that far in the All Blacks' favor. So the Stormers can really be proud of their performance tonight. And I think if you are a Stormers fan here right now, let me know down below, are you guys proud of your team? I mean, I am proud of the Stormers because they played a very good game today and they actually took the challenge to the All Blacks. And of course I think the All Blacks weren't at their best, but the Stormers team didn't have that long to prepare either. So very good game from the Stormers, but 29 tackles missed, a bit unacceptable there. 20 for the All Blacks, 5 turnovers, 1 for the Stormers. They were a very good breakdown threat on the ground. 3 turnovers, 1 for the All Blacks, 2 tackle turnovers for the Stormers and 1 for the All Blacks. 16 tackle offloads allowed for the Stormers and 14 for the All Blacks. So the stats are very close there. And looking at the ruck speed here, the average ruck speed, both of them 4.3, 4.35 for the Stormers, 4.32 for the All Blacks. Very close there. But the amount of rucks under 3 seconds, so 0 to 3 seconds, the Stormers actually beating the All Blacks there. 65% of their rucks under 3 seconds and the All Blacks 64. Both of those stats very high there. It was a very high paced game, very quick game. Ball was in and out very quickly. There wasn't that many times where they were really setting up a contestable box kick, setting up and just taking their time. This game, these players must be very tired now because this game was just going on and on and on. And that's what I like to see. I mean, I knew the Stormers would bring that because that's a style they play. They're a very difficult team to beat in Cape Town, and I think we saw that tonight as well. 9 scrums for the Stormers, 71% scrum win rate. But that being said, I thought the Stormers had a pretty solid scrum today, to be honest. Without those Springbok guys there, without those main Springbok guys there, they are getting Volkolo back as well. They are getting Zachary Borton back for the season. 4 scrums for the All Blacks, 100% win rate. That's what you expect there. 100% line-out win rate from the All Blacks and 80% for the Stormers. Not bad stats there for either team right there. 117 passes for the Stormers, 170 for the All Blacks. The All Blacks love to just get those little pop passes going, keeping the ball alive, playing the ball out the back as well. Some really interesting stats here. But looking at some of the player stats, the players that really stood out this game, the top point scorer in the game was Beauden Barrett with 6 points. The final try scorer of the game, Asaf Fuamua. The most successful passes in the game, Cortez Ratimer. And I thought Cortez Ratimer was pretty solid today. Obviously, he's not going to be like a Cam Roygard that's going to do these exceptional things, but I thought he was quite solid today and looked a bit nippy at times as well. Most carries in the game is for Anton Leonard-Brown, 14 carries. And I will say, every single time Anton Leonard-Brown had the ball in hand, he looked extremely dangerous. He is one of those guys playing for a spot, in my opinion, on the bench for the All Blacks. He's definitely playing for maybe that number 23 spot for the All Blacks. Didn't look too bad tonight either. 17 tackles completed for Peter Lakai. He was all over today. A very underrated player in World Rugby. I mean, the All Blacks fans know how good this guy is, but a very underrated player in the whole essence of World Rugby. He's definitely one to watch. He is quick. He's an athlete. He's physical. He's good over the ball. He's got a high IQ as well. Peter Lakai will definitely be starting against the Springboks. Line breaks, 2 line breaks. The most line breaks in the game is for Peter Lakai once again. 2 turnovers, 1 for Dion Fourie. 7 defenders beaten by Leroy Carter. And it's very interesting because I think it's a direct competition right now between Leroy Carter and Josh Morby and Caleb Clark, because we know the other position is Will Jordans. We know the fullback's probably going to be Damien McKenzie. But I think that other wing spot is up for grabs now between Leroy Carter, who was very deadly with ball in hand, Josh Morby, who is one of the better players in World Rugby right now in the form of his life, and Caleb Clark, and we know what Caleb Clark can do as well. So very interesting little battle there for the number, I think it's the number 14 or number 11 jersey for the All Blacks. It's going to be very interesting to see who gets the legendary 11 jersey for this tour. But that is my review now. Let me know what you guys think down below. Who is your favorite player in the game? Who do you thought played the best? Who was your man of the match? Let me know what was your predictions before the game. Let me know some of your insights. But overall, a positive performance for the Stormers. Not the best performance from the All Blacks, but still, they stuck in there. They grinded out the win. That's what they do. They are one of the best teams in the world, the second best team in the world. And I think there are some players from today that definitely ticked a few boxes for the coaches for the All Blacks, and some that maybe didn't. But pay attention for the player ratings coming out just after this, later on tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. We've just hit 3,000 subscribers. We're trying to go for 10,000. We're trying to go for 100,000. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.